just had a bit of an interesting realization. I mean, I've known this for a while, just maybe you can put it in some better words here, but I heard somebody say recently, that idea of when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And it's not that the teacher isn't there, but I was just thinking about this, and even everybody, whenever we see something that we're not ready for, we're not ready to engage with or learn, or if it just doesn't, if it's just not on our level yet, if we're not ready for it, sometimes you can tell people something, like you can try to tell them a little bit of some sort of truth, and they will immediately change the subject, or they'll just shoot it down. And it's just because their spirit, they haven't made themselves, or it's just not their time for learning what you're trying to tell them. And it just occurred to me that, I probably do this too. It's just, or maybe it's a bit different. I mean, I imagine it's a bit different for everybody, but, when somebody says something that I'm not really interested in, I kind of just ignore everything that they said, and it kind of, goes in one ear and it goes out the other. I mean, it's not as if I'm literally ignoring, it's just that my brain doesn't process it. And sometimes I tell people things and they sort of reply to me, but I can tell they didn't really understand, or they didn't really process what I said. And I just wonder, how much do I do that? How much do we all do that? But I think that we probably all do it quite a lot, and we don't even realize it. Just sort of we just filter out things that aren't important to us. If somebody's talking about something you don't find very interesting, you just kind of, you don't really, maybe you hear it, but it doesn't really enter you. And I was listening to the Gospel of Mark, and in that Gospel, in the part where Jesus is talking about how it's not what enters a person that makes them unclean, but it's what comes out of a person that makes them unclean. It's really interesting. I've never heard anybody point out before that Jesus says that folly is what he says in the KJV, and foolishness in the NIV. Those are the two versions I checked. And foolishness comes out of the heart. So if you think about what he's saying, is what it seems to be to me, and it makes a lot of sense to me and in my experience, is that when people are being foolish, when they're committing folly, it more has to do with the intentions of their heart that is causing them to act in a way that is foolish, rather than just a simple problem of ability. It's not, if somebody can't grasp an idea, maybe it's not just an intellectual problem, maybe it's a heart problem. Because, just from the way that it's written in Mark, it seems like Jesus said, foolishness comes from the heart. He didn't say it comes from the brain. And I just thought that was really interesting, and that's all I had. So God bless everybody.